anticipated resumption of flights kicks off today with a flight from Johannesburg to Cape Town. But the takeoff is happening without its new strategic partners who aren't involved in the airline's management, funding and relaunch plans at this stage. The national carrier is finalizing a partnership deal with the Kgathatso Consortium. With that said, is this a new dawn for the airline or is it heading for another fall? And how will SAA operate under its private-public partnership? To help answer these questions, we're joined now by the Deputy Director of Public Enterprises, Kgathatso Tlhakudi. Kgathatso, thank you so much for joining us. So where are things at the moment in the ongoing talks with the Kgathatso Consortium?
Well, good morning and thank you so much for having me on your show on this huge day and big milestone for SAA after the challenges that it's had in obviously in the past year or so. We are finalizing what will be basically the share sale and purchase agreement. Obviously, it was informed by the due diligence process that had been undertaken by the consortium, and we are hoping that literally in the next few weeks to the end of this calendar year at the latest, that will have a new ownership structure for SAA going forward. So that's where we are, and it's a new beginning. It's a solid beginning. We have the business has been restructured. We believe we have set up a base for the business to grow going forward and to reclaim its space in the local aviation market as one of the premier players in the commercial aviation space. Thank you.
Kgathatso, you say right now you're in the process of negotiating the share purchase agreement. Will the return of the airline to operation have any effect on that agreement?
No, it will not have. Obviously, what is important for us is to closely manage any risk that can materialize with this early start, such that they don't impact on the business post takeover by the SAP. But we have kept them very much informed of the developments. We shared the restart plan with them, so they are very much aware with what we are doing. We have had to get this process going for two reasons. The first one is that, as you can appreciate, with the business being grounded, there are certain costs that are being incurred. So you'd rather have those costs be incurred toward generating new cash flows so that we can mitigate the impact on really limited funds that are available for restart of operations, which had been anticipated and budgeted for in the business rescue plan. Secondly, we operate within a regulated environment, and it's critical that we ensure that the licenses and the permits that inform the business are retained. The longer we stay out of the fray, so to speak, or out of the market, the more risk was being attracted business in terms of maintaining those permits and licenses. So those were really the primary reasons why we have had to start when we did. And of course, for any business staying out of the market for as long as SAA has been, it can be a negative. So the sooner we reconnected with the customer base, the loyal customer base, better for the business prospects going forward. So that's, in a nutshell, is what informed this decision.
Let's talk about those business prospects going forward. How will this new SAA operate under its private-public leadership, and when do you see it becoming profitable?
Yeah, well, as we all know, we are coming into a market which has been very much affected by the pandemic. Almost everyone, if not everyone, is operating under a huge strain, losing money in the process. What we have done, we have reduced the airline from about 4,600 people to around about 700 people that are now at SAA today. That has reduced the cost base quite substantially. And there has been obviously a very scrutiny of all the contracts and supply agreements that were in place to ensure that we're getting the best value for money. So we believe we have a very competitive cost base to operate from. And of course, the key now is to ensure that the volumes come through. And we believe they will. There's an airline combined with Mango that used to command about a quarter of the market. So we believe if we can be able to reach in some way close to those numbers, it will be a profitable venture going forward. It will be a good base for growth. It's a competitive market as well. Of course, the competition is not standing waiting for SAA. We have seen Comair coming in to the market when SAA announced its plans to start flying from today. So what we have is we have an interim leadership team, both at an executive level and at board level, which is quite capable, quite committed, and we believe that they're in a position to be able to react to what the competition will throw at them. But most importantly as well is SAA's entrance into the market grows the market as well. And that should not be forgotten. It's not about volumes from someone else. It's also about increasing the cake, so to speak.
Well, Kgathatso, I've got to say congratulations on getting SAA back in the air. The visuals we saw from OR Tambo International were just of absolute happiness. So congratulations and thank you for your time. Kgathatso Tlhakudi, Public Enterprises Director General.